Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the CrossWinds Church More Than Sunday podcast. We are actually continuing a conversation with my wife, Andrea Coli, who is one of our pastors at CrossWinds, as well as what are you calling you? The executive director of Lead Bold? Is that your, do you have a title?
I just say director. I could throw the word executive in front.
You're not very executive.
That's true.
You may want to. Artistic director?
I'm not really very artistic. We'll keep it at director.
Okay.
Let people guess.
Yeah, good call. We're continuing in our conversation. At some point earlier, we posted a podcast where Andrea and I just kind of, she walked us through what Lead Bold is and what it all led up to at a conference that happened last September. And we ran out of time, thought we'd come back and talk more about what it looks like moving forward in light of the pandemic. And was hoping we could just pick up from there today, if that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so where we had left off, we had just finished talking about the conference last September, and I know that your guys' plans, I shouldn't say guys when I know it's a Lead Bold
But
thing.
don't say you ladies. Nobody wants that.
Really?
The plan was, let's do like that.
You and the gals had decided to do another conference this coming September, and you were seeing this thing grow and the momentum toward it grow toward this coming September, and then we had a pandemic.
Yes, we did.
Half a pandemic. We're still in it. So what are you thinking?
Well, our team, which if we have time, I'd love to talk about our team too.
Yeah.
Our team has really prayerfully and thoughtfully been feeling out and listening to what it could look like for us in September.
Tell us about your team real quick. Who is the team?
Well, so
what is the team?
I have to give a little backstory. Last year, our team was, there were 5 of us.
Yeah.
And we just all did all the things.
Yeah.
And there was no differentiation of who was doing what. It was just like, who has time to do this? And that's why we just, it was kind of ragtag.
Yeah.
So our hope going into this now second year was to expand that team and to have the people on the team really have ownership of a certain arm of Lead Bold. So the conference is just one arm.
Yeah.
We also have mastermind groups. We have a blog. We have all that stuff.
For those of us...
For
those of us who are already masterminds and don't need a group.
Wow.
Can you explain to us?
Well, this is a mastermind is a peer group that helps you reach your goals.
Oh, okay.
So you might come to, it's kind of like a small group. You might come do it, but you have a particular goal in mind for your leadership growth or your business growth within ministry. And then you kind of brainstorm together and problem solve together with each other.
Why is it named mastermind?
Because you all come together like one mind to master whatever the thing is.
I
that
thought
you're
maybe it
wanting
was
to do.
you use your minds to tap into the mind of
The master?
the master.
Oh,
as
yeah.
I point to heaven for those who are listening.
We could definitely make that adjustment.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is, and then the other thing real quick that we started is what we're calling meetups. And those are kind of local gatherings where, there might be one in San Jose, one in Santa Rosa, one in Tracy, whatever.
This is all pre-pandemic. The thought was
we're
going to do meetups
together.
and all these different, which is great because ongoing relationships beyond just a once-a-year conference, right?
Right. Yeah. And the idea of connecting people who might only live 20 minutes away and they can actually maintain that friendship. In person. So then pandemic. So we kind of put that on hold. But then we thought, let's just do it over Zoom. So that's what we started doing a couple weeks ago.
All right.
We kept it geographical.
Okay.
Not that, anybody could join any Zoom, obviously. But we kept it geographical because the hope is that you would make a connection and then you would eventually get to see someone in person.
Yeah.
And it's actually already working because we had one last week, and afterwards I found out that 2 of the women kind of reached out to each other after the fact. They don't live too far from one another and decided to have a, socially distanced backyard coffee, just the 2 of them.
Nice.
To further that relationship. And I love that so much. That's what this is about, building that community.
Yeah.
So all that to say, our team now there's about 12 of us.
Wow.
And we're still sort of differentiating. Some people, like Jody Harris, she is running with our blog. Chelsea Parsons, Marzita Parsons here at CrossWinds, she's overseeing all of our social media.
I love saying her maiden name.
Marzita Parsons.
Marzita.
I told her
If Chelsea listens to this, it'll bother her that whenever we do a sound check lately, that's the word I use. Marzita.
I told her because it's Marzita -Parsons.
Yes.
I told her she should have it just be like Marpar for short. Mar-Par. Marzita Parsons. Get it?
I get it.
Conversation.
I get it.
Let me keep telling it to you until you like it.
That's
what I call her in my mind.
Okay.
Anyway, she's leading our social media. Another idea we have that's in the works, real quick, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Is a year-long cohort.
Oh.
For leaders to come together, to be built into, to pay attention to their soul, to be kind of, again, refocusing for ministry. So
that's a great idea.
Is something we're really excited about.
Back to the 12. These are not people from CrossWinds.
Right.
These are, just to be clear, this is...
Yes.
And it has always been, but it becoming even more of a area-wide...
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got somebody from Reality in San Francisco. We've got someone from Three Crosses. We've got someone in South Bay.
That's great.
All over.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it's actually one of the things I'm thankful for with having to move things to Zoom is that it makes me realize we can do our team meetings on Zoom and not limit it to who can drive in to Livermore.
Was there any spiritual significance to you choosing 12 leaders?
Oh, yeah. I'm so intentional about everything I do. I definitely... 2 of them were fishermen before. That's
really?
What's also weird.
Is it 12 including you?
I don't even know if it's exactly 12. I gotta look. I'm just trying to picture the Zoom screen and how many people are on it.
Is it pre-Last Supper or post-Last Supper after Judas is gone and it was really 11?
There's no Judas.
Jesus?
The's definitely no Judas.
We'll find out.
Oh,
yeah.
Yikes.
No, so your plan for this September then is what? What will you do?
So all of us, our team, we are trying to picture what it would be to have the conference. We're trying to picture 200 to 300 women gathered in one place in September. Just didn't feel like that was wise.
Okay.
One, because we don't even know if we'll be able to do that legally. And 2, because, I don't know who's going to buy a ticket right now for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much like a lot of us are having to do, we kind of had to start thinking outside the box and what could this look like. And so this is what we're moving toward, and we're about to kind of communicate this out to the people on our mailing list, is that we are going to have a one-day conference that takes place in 20 to 30 houses throughout Northern California. So what that means is that you would go to a home, you would buy a ticket for that home, you would be there with 12 to 25 other women, depending on how many the house can hold, including space for that soul care time to spread out, because we want to keep that. And, whatever the county or state allowances are, if maybe you can only meet with 10 people, then it's only 10 people. Each home will have a facilitator and a host and basically 3 leaders who are going to kind of nurture that experience of that day. Oh. We had already booked Carolyn Custis James as our keynote speaker, and then our other speaker is a woman named Sharon Norris Elliott. They are both really flexible and open to doing pre-recorded video messages.
Tell us more about these speakers.
So Carolyn Custis James, she's been in this conversation of women in leadership for a long time. She's a prolific writer and a strong voice in this conversation.
Okay.
So we're so honored to have her. I know when I tell people, and it's, again, it's if you're not in that world, you maybe have never heard of her. But when I tell people in that world, it's like, what? No way. So we're so excited about that.
Great.
I am disappointed it wouldn't be in person, but there's always future years. Sharon Norris Elliott is she is in Southern California. She is in her quote real life, she is a high school teacher, but she has a television ministry, kind of an on-air ministry. She helps writers kind of reach their goals. She's a teacher and a preacher, and just has an incredible gift of communication.
A high school teacher that does all that?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe she should do a class on how to do all that. But
Yeah.
so really excited to have both of them. So they will pre-record their messages, and then basically we'll have sessions that everybody is watching, in the living room kind of thing together.
Yeah.
But then we'll also have the small group experience where we're discussing what the session was about, or different ministry topics. We'll still have the individual time. We'll still have kind of some interactive stuff to build community. And really our hope is just to create mini house conferences all throughout Northern California. In fact, I have talked to a few people out of state who are connected with Lead Bold who have said, can we do one over here?
Yeah,
and
at this
I'm like,
point,
actually, yeah, if you can find a house.
If it's online, why
Then-
not do it in Arkansas? Do
Yeah.
it in Texas.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, and then the other thing I should say is that I think we are gonna have women who, regardless of what's allowed, maybe can't or just don't feel comfortable even going to something like that. And so we're also kind of strategizing about what could it look like for somebody who, could there be also a group, a quote unquote house
Yeah.
that is truly all online?
Yeah.
And they're kind of on Zoom together.
Got it.
Watch it together,
Yeah.
come back at a certain time.
And why not have the whole thing be like that?
That's a good question. The community aspect and the togetherness aspect is so significant for what we're trying to do. It's not all about getting content out there. There's so much content that people can get. It's truly about those organic conversations that happen, the connection that you feel with somebody and you realize, wow, I want to stay in touch with them. They have something to teach me. And really it's just it's sort of that energy that happens when you're with, when women who are in ministry get together, there's just this bubbling up of energy that happens that you just can't get without being in person.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
So that's our plan, and honestly, the team is really excited about this idea. I might even say that having to create this whole new thing could be something that we find we want to keep doing on some level. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Awesome. Have you considered any of my suggestions where you invite me to come teach a breakout to men about what it's like to be married to a woman in ministry?
We'll get back to you on that. It's under advisement.
Okay.
I know last year, at the conference last year, you were really, let me just say this. You were so much trying to get there, to be there.
I wanted to be there really
that
badly.
you volunteered to run media.
I did.
for
I
us.
think I did run media
So you sat
too.
in the booth and you did the slides.
Yeah, right. I
for
forgot
the
about that.
lyrics and for the speakers,
Yes.
just so that you could be there.
Yes.
Which, you could have just
There were a handful
come
of
in.
men.
Nobody would have stopped you.
Well, there were a handful of us guys that were in the booth doing things because we wanted to be there and to
Yeah.
support it, and we all felt like it was no men allowed in the normal seats. So that was
to
our
be fair,
our ticket for entry.
Again, it's all about the dynamic.
Yeah, no,
right?
I completely get it. I completely get it. All right, thank you for coming on.
Oh, can I real quick say
Nope.
our website?
Absolutely not.
Leadingbold.org.
Oh,
Leadingbold.org.
I didn't get to you in time.
Leadingbold.org.
Leadingbold.org.
And we just kind of revamped it. And
Lead
you
Bold
can
was already
join-
taken.
Yeah, it was already taken. No, it was one of those where you had to buy it for like $5,000. Somebody
my
just
gosh.
bought a bunch of site domains.
Yes.
So we added the ing. We verbed it.
So leadingbold.org.
Yes,
And-
and you can sign up there to get updates from us. It's got all the information about those different arms and resources I was talking about. On social media, our handles are also Leading Bold.
I think maybe the most exciting thing is the way this is turning into a year-round effort and all of the ways that women are able to connect to this. And to just know that at CrossWinds, we've been able to play a small part in helping get this thing off the ground.
No, I was actually going to just say that, and I know it was kind of from part one when we were talking about close up in this conversation, but I got to say, like, the freedom that our team felt last year to not really have to stress and limit ourselves because we only had so much money, or we didn't know who would come and what money we would have with tickets.
Yes.
was such a gift.
Yeah.
And we had a great representation of women leaders from CrossWinds who were there.
Yep.
People who had been part of giving toward Close Up. And I just really loved seeing that. And I want to thank those who gave toward that, because
Absolutely.
it was a real game changer. And it continues to now, because again, now we have that support and we can help it perpetuate what we're doing now.
Great. All right. Thanks, Andrea. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming on. Bye, everyone.